Good morning. Welcome to day 7 on Broadland Orion, Richardson's boating holidays. You join us at breakfast a lot later than we've been all week. It's actually probably what, 9:30?
Oh yeah, can you give me the spatula for me?
Yeah, so it's 9:30, which is the latest we have been all week without doubt. We're moored at the Stracey Arms, and it has been exceptionally bumpy, hasn't it?
Very windy.
Very windy. But having said that, we slept okay. So this is our last day. We're not actually 100% sure where we're going. Again, obviously we're going to head pretty close to the boatyard because we've got to be back for 9:30 in the morning at the latest. So we want to be under an hour's cruise away. So
you can probably hear what we're having for breakfast.
We're having eggs on toast.
We're doing Winnie's first.
Yeah, Winnie's first.
Because I broke it.
Yeah. So we've had 7 days on the boat now, and Winnie has been absolutely terrified to get in, on and off the boat. What did she do this morning?
Oh yeah, she's on and off like a whippet.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I know I can handle this. I've got this. It's not a problem. So yeah, egg and toast. Lisa's got her turbine on.
Yeah, hair wash today.
Hair wash today. I washed mine this morning. It's drying out lovely. I am still pretty... It is still pretty... It is still pretty sunburnt, or I am still pretty sunburnt. I'll have that bit. Right. We'll be back after breakfast once we're ready to cruise. We'll see you then. Right. Day 7. Engine running, engine warming up, boat getting ready to go. Very choppy. Very choppy. I've got the forward camera going. There's a lot of tension on the front rope, so this is going to be an off as quick as we can. So here we go.
What?
You alright?
Well, I'm full knock left.
Okay. We'll do it this way. Seem to go so far all right. We're away. We are away. So that was the Stracey Arms. A very bumpy night, if I say so myself. When you've got bow thrusters, it is just so easy to moor a boat. That boat would just come in, span round, bow thrusters, sideways in, and done. We done it the old-fashioned way. The Loxelia spare has done it.
What?
We got the boat out.
It did.
Right, back presently. So it is unbelievably windy, which is pushing against the boat. We were just initially saying, weren't we? We couldn't work out which way the tide was going, and then thinking about it, Lisa had to give the boat some forward throttle so the tide It's still on its way in. It might just be on the turn. We should, next thing we should be coming up to should be Stokesby. And the Ferrying pub. There is definitely a crosswind because it has just blown the front of the boat over to the right. So Turnstile Dyke we've just passed. We're saying how nice it is as well that people, every boater waves, don't they?
Yeah.
Every boater waves, which I don't know if people have noticed. It seems to have stopped with motorhomers. I think
So many new people doing it.
yeah, there's so many new people who don't sort of. It's an old thing, isn't it? You know, I mean, I'm 53, and I can remember when my dad had his first Devon VW camper. If you saw another one, you were practically semaphoring each other. But anyway, we'll see you when we get to Stokesby, or unless we see something else exciting before then. So, first mate on the bridge. What can you see, Captain?
Reeds.
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 Reeds. Oliver? This still isn't. This is still very wind on wavy, isn't it? It's not calming down any. Heron on the right. See it? Let's just show you the heron. Well, I think you got it.
Do you want to see it?
No, we see it.
Gorgeous.
There is definitely wildlife here. What I do like is that it's gone from being the Broads Authority to a national park.
Is it too windy with that open?
Yeah, it should be fine. Should be fine. So this is Stokesby, which I commented about on the way through. I wished I'd have done what I've just done now, which is put the map actually on the up the front here, so you can see what's going on.
Why didn't you then?
I didn't think about it. I wonder whether these moorings were empty last night.
Do you think it would have been any more protected up here then? Maybe that's where the people in practice went.
No, because it's still. I don't think it's as bumpy as what it was, but it is still definitely.
Is this the pub up here then?
Yeah, it's the Ferry Inn. He says with great authority, but the only reason I know it's the Ferry Inn is because I've got the map in front of me. Definitely not pulling as much. got something rattling back there. So that's the ferry in. Good write-ups, good reviews. If you want a channel that reviews lots and lots of broad stuff, then the Captain's vlog is a must. The guy has, I think, has practically stopped at every single pub on the Broads, moored near enough everywhere. Till recently had a very nice trader, his own boat. Still got a little boat on the Broads himself, and I think he's got some ownership in Broad Ambition. So, but that's definitely worth a look at if you want reviews on pubs. He's been doing it for years. So we will be coming up to Acle next. Acle. So I'm interested to see if see electric on the moorings here. Yeah, I'm interested to see if we've got to rush out and put the lid down or no. Still can't get over the fact there is nowhere near there's nowhere near as many boats on the river. I assumed there would be absolutely loads and loads of boats on the river, but no, it's not. Commissioner's Drain Mill. So somewhere on this bit is Commissioner's Drain Mill. Right. That was Stokesby. So if I'm correct, which I'm probably not.
Yeah, don't use this as a point of reference.
Yeah, please don't. I think this is Acle Dyke on the left. But what's grabbed my attention is the sort of Dutch bargee type boat moored right on the very end with huge patio doors at the back.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's something else, isn't it? Oh my god, I was right. It says Acle Dyke. That is, there's a police car there. Is it police? Yes it is. There is a police vehicle there. Very nice Ocean 42. I love it. Daughter's Inheritance. What an amazing name for a boat.
Not as good as the other woman.
Yeah. What was that? It was in French, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was it in French?
L'autre femme.
Yeah. Oh, police. Police boats. Oh. A police boat. And a police... Oh, he's launched his police boat. That's why the police thing is there.
Is that an old boat done up or a new?
That, I think, is a new boat. And it looks very Dutch barge-ish.
How easy is it to manoeuvre that then?
It's probably got bow thrusters and a very big engine.
I know, but how do you see where you're going?
Well, they're the same as they are here. There's got the helm positions at the back now. Oh, so that's the first time I've... Well, I have seen... Yeah, no, it's the first time I've seen a police boat.
Oh, but it's the first time you've been right.
Yeah, it's unusual for me. Being right. Look, this guy's, poor guy's cutting this grass, and to be quite honest, I'm not seeing any difference in the height of the grass. I think he might have that cut just a little bit too high. So that was Acle Dyke. We should be coming up on Acle Bridge.
Here.
Pretty soon, yeah, all private moorings by the looks of it.
Right.
I'm guessing this is all paid for private moorings.
So the hire companies haven't done so well then, I don't think, this Easter.
Well, there was a lot of boats out. Hang on 2 seconds. Right, shall I take me on that way? There was a lot of boats out over the initial Easter holiday, because when we picked this up there must have been 40 cars, 50 cars, so unless they were just short hire.
Yeah, we haven't seen very much at all, have we? And all the moorings that we've stopped at, there's been spaces.
Yeah.
And the mooring we were on last night, there's only 3 of us there, weren't there?
Yeah. So, I don't know, perhaps, I don't know whether holidaying on the Broads is, whether there is more of it now than what there was in the 80s and 90s, or whether there's less of it. I really don't know.
Well, I'd say there's less, because the pubs are closed. I don't know how much COVID had to do with the demise. Or whether people just, because they haven't been able to go anywhere, there's just a glut of people going abroad.
Yeah.
Staycation really didn't, people will only do that when it's forced upon them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously we'll find out, won't we, during the holiday season, whether staycations are in. I mean, it's busy in Cornwall anyway, but last year was just horrendous. You just could not move at all.
I think people come to Cornwall for the half terms or the shorter holidays, don't they?
No, the 6 weeks holiday, it's just
See, all my friends, Facebook has been awash with people going abroad on holiday.
Yeah.
All the women that I work with, they've all gone abroad on holiday. I'm the only person that has had a holiday here.
Yeah. But you are making up for that, aren't you? Because you're going to.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
No.
What I'm saying is that just as a straw poll then.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to be going abroad.
I think it's because restrictions are lifted, people are just doing what they want again, which is fair enough. Right, next up, Acle Bridge, where I'm hoping, because we're at high tide, this is going to go up. Well, he's come under, so I'm assuming we're going to have no problems. Acle Bridge next. Yeah, so if this boat's come under Acle Bridge, I'm assuming we're going to go under. We look a very similar sort of height. I drop next to him and measure him. He's a nodder, not a waver. I do like converted windmill in the distance over there. white one with a
Yeah, like a little hat on.
like a dodgy hat on. Yeah. Right, still out looking out for bridge gauges. Our rev gauge is doing its own thing again at the moment. According to this, we're doing 2,000. Yeah, there we go. 2,400 revs. Then we're doing 2,000. Now we're doing 15. Now we're doing 14. Now we're doing 11.
Yeah, because it bounced all over.
Yeah, so it's doing its own thing. And that's nice, that house on the right. Bridge Farm. No mooring, no fishing, no looking.
No looking for our windows.
Oh yeah, I think we're not even going to have any problems going under this bridge.
Alright. There's a round roofed building over there, thatched building. Is that part of the pub?
That's part of the pub, yeah. Adventuring Light. Lovely little boat, isn't it?
Yeah. Something like that next time.
Adventure. Well, remember that. Send yourself a message with the name of the boat on.
Adventuring Light.
Yeah. Bridge and burgers. Burgers.
I sent it to you.
Okay. This is Acle Bridge. With a clearance of 12 feet. Acle Bridge Inn. It is still very windy and choppy, considering the fact we are now miles away from... Yeah.
Did you have a manual reading from Patrick today?
No, no,
Hey?
no. Oh, shame.
I haven't got anything.
Oh. I'm just trying to work out what is they're doing.
We're breaking something up.
They are putting in new, knocking pilings in, yeah. So Bridgecraft, another little hire fleet. That's nice, that one on the end there. That one and that one. Free moorings with electricity.
Maybe this is where everybody was last night then?
Possibly. Acle Bridge moorings. Right. That was Acle. Next is the, we'll be turning shortly, well not shortly, we'll be turning onto the Thurn, so we've got to look for the Thurn mouth and head up towards Ludham. Right. Alright. Look at all these swans.
Is it a mad or a swan?
I don't know.
Ravens, isn't it?
What do you call a collection of swans? If my my navigation skills are as they should be. That should be Upton Dyke on the left. Actually aiming for the swans, the front of the boat is being blown about.
We just called it a herd.
A herd of swans.
A herd, bevy or flock?
A flock. Winnie hasn't noticed the they just swim in front of the boat, didn't they? Limited moorings, Upton Dyke. I bet that's lovely down there. Including Upton Stave.
A bevy of swans.
Leading to Upton Stave.
That's what we're heading for, is it?
No. We're heading for Gay Stave.
Oh. Gay?
Gay, G-A-Y-E, Stave. So, right. Upton Cross. There's moorings down there at the moment. There's moorings down at Upton Dyke, Upton Cross.
Where they not normally be?
Well, it says there's limited mooring. Right, we'll be turning off soon onto the Thurn. So, Oby Drainage Mill. I don't know, I'm assuming that these are all still active drainage pumps and outlets for the Broads, but they're no longer powered by wind pumps. Interestingly, I don't know whether it's the Broads Authority or a lot of these seem to be covered as if there is an intention to restore, preserve and restore. So mind you, there it does say private property and I can't see an outlet, so I'm assuming not necessarily so anymore. But interesting whichever way. So South Oby Dyke should be our next on the right, and then Tall Mill Drainage Mill, and then hopefully the mouth of the river Thurn. I take it that's Tall Mill Drainage that I can just see coming up on the left. Right, so Tall Mill Drainage Mill coming up on the left, looks as if it's restored and working. South Oby Dyke on our right. Again, I assume that's a private dike. Right, we can up to 6 miles an hour now. It is a lovely sunny day, but it is also very windy. Oh, I have coffee. I also have a timeout wafer bar. Excuse me. Other wafer bars are available.
Sorry, is that my bum?
Does my bum look big in this? Yeah. Tool mill drainage mill. That looks very nice. What's the date on that? 1800. 1800. Oh my god.
What's that?
That drainage mill, 1800. And by the looks of it, it is a house. There's someone's kitchen on the right hand side of it. Right, we're approaching the mouth of the river Thurn. It's really nice to see some sailboats. I say that very tongue-in-cheek because when they're tacking in front of you, it's a different ball game.
Then when I've got the sails out today, it's jolly windy. They'd go quite quick, I would have thought.
Yeah. So we are according to the map, there is a dike on the right and then the Thurn mouth is just past it. Looks like that wind pump is a restored one round there. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
That must be the Wind Energy Museum. It's a restored windmill.
Look at you. It's almost as if you know what you're talking about today.
I haven't got a clue.
So let's hope everybody got through all the rubbish to get to this point.
To get to day 7, that if I had the map in front of me, I've got a rough idea where we're going and what we're doing.
And you thought you could only do this on land?
Yeah, you thought I could only waffle on land. Well, I hope that I have proved that it is multi-skilled. Just nice to see is that people do buy the old hire boats.
Yeah, we could have one like that. That's nice. I like that. Stick you up on the roof.
They buy the old hire boats and they look after them. See, I can remember on the right here, I don't know if we're out of shot here, but these were Calypsos, I think. But these blue top boats, I can remember these being part of a hire fleet. Roxham had the connoisseur class.
It sort of makes sense, doesn't it, to buy an ex-hire boat because it will have been looked after all its life.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it depends what you want. Because we want to keep, if we get a boat, we want to keep it obviously where we live and then have the ability to go on waterways around the UK. We need something that's got a bit of power. Because you could take this out to sea, but in a little bit of current, you would just stand still.
Yeah, but if you lived here, or near here, or you wanted to come here several times a year,
yeah,
then it's a bit like buying a static home, isn't it? On a caravan park.
Yeah. Right.
Does this look like you know where you're going? Well, at least we've got a sign. You want me to read that sign?
Yeah, we're heading.
River Thurn?
That's what we want, because this is the Thurn Mount.
We're not going to Oring then. morning and Wrexham's that way. Watch the boat.
Yeah, so he's crossing in front of us.
So we've got something called Potter
Higham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hinkling Broad.
And Horsey.
Yeah.
So we're going the right way then?
We are going the right way. We're going towards Ranworth. And then just shortly up here, after we passed Fleet Dyke, we will turn off right onto the River Ant.
Why didn't you do this from day one?
That's next hire cruiser as well, by the looks of it. So
That's very nice as well.
that is lovely.
Can't we have one like that then next time?
That's very similar to this.
Well, it's got a sofa.
So come on in, a discussion about my commentary. Are you saying I should have done this from day one?
Well, possibly. If you want to encourage people to come to the Broads by our platform, then yes, maybe it should have been a bit more informative.
Yeah, I agree. I think what I was
You are proving that any idiot can turn up, hire a boat and enjoy a float about for a week and not come to any harm.
well, we've still got a few hours left yet. So I think what I was trying to do is do a lot of it from memory from 20 years ago, which, to be honest,
Reliving your youth, weren't you?
yeah, reliving my youth, which I don't think has gone to plan.
See, that's a big boat, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's got a sliding canopy, so it takes the air draft down. And it's like this, you are sitting up very high, but you're still going to have that screen in the way. So we've just been, the other thing we've just been discussing is obviously we want to do a review of the boat completely separate from what we've done cruising.
What you need to do then is compare this boat price-wise as well as...
Yeah, and we will do. I think what we'll do is, you know, we'll mention once we find out how much we're going to get charged in diesel. I had a concern with this because when we arrived to collect the boat, and I will mention this again in the review, but when we arrived to collect it, or when we arrived at the boatyard, it was just after 11 o'clock, and we walked round and this boat was sitting here with the engine running quite happily, and then when we took the boat on some 3.5 hours later, the engine was still running with no one on it. Now, I don't know what this engine uses on tickover.
Why was it on?
I've got absolutely no idea.
I didn't notice it was on.
So the boat engine was running for 3 hours sat on the mooring. Now that's 3 hours of fuel that we will have to pay for. And again, I'll bring this up in the review. As a boat hirer, we have no idea that this boat has been fueled, and when we go back and they fill it up and say you've used this much in fuel, we've got no proof that this boat was full.
Is there no fuel gauge on it?
No, was full to the brim with fuel. What I did do,
that's a bit naughty.
yeah, what I did do is I did actually when we were at How Hill, I did actually find a piece of wood and dip the tank. Now it was definitely not full, and we'd only cruised from Stalham to How Hill, which is not a vast distance at all.
So how do you know if you're running out of fuel then?
Well,
If there's no fuel gauge?
well, what they say is the tank holds enough diesel to run this boat at full revs for 2 weeks.
Oh, right.
So, but
A little bird!
we there definitely was not a full tank of fuel when we got to How Hill. I'd say it was probably just over the 3/4, and I don't think that's a broom, I don't think that
That's very nice, isn't it?
we've used that amount of fuel in the time that we had the boat. So it is something that I will question with Richardson's, because to have the engine running for 3 odd hours before we take the boat and expect us as hirers to pay for that, I think it's a little unfair. But there you go. Anyway, that's all to come up in the review, because they might very well take that into account. I don't know. Right, we're coming into a 5 mile an hour zone, which I think is the lead up to St Benet's Abbey. So we'll show you that as we go past. Right, we are just approaching St Benet's Abbey ruins, and my font of knowledge,
Well, research, I think we'll call it, shall
yeah,
we?
let's call it research.
Right, that's 2 men there. Right, there's not a woman in sight helping that boat.
Yeah, but it was the last 3 we've passed. So come on in, what can you tell us about St Benet's? But it's
Right, it's now on your left-hand side. It's not on the right, it's over there on the left.
it's not, it's on the right.
Well, that's not what the picture looks like, my darling, because that is just not much there, is there?
So there's the main bit, and there's the Abbey.
That's what it looks like, which looks
Yeah.
like that.
It will do when we get round.
Right.
Anyway,
Okay. So it's over there on your left.
it'll be on our right as we go round.
Hey?
It'll be on our right.
Oh, will it now?
Yeah.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
this boat then?
It's very big and all over the river.
It is very big.
It's very big. It's a Fairline, I think. Yeah. Fairline 36 and Sidine.
Oh yeah. Well, there it is. Coming into view now.
It's just
So, established in the 9th century. So, it's called St Benet's because it was established for the Benedictine monks.
Is that French?
Benedictine, I'm not sure where they originate from. Benedictine, I think they would have been Italian, wouldn't they? Anyway, it was said to have established monasteries in the Western world with the first order of Benedictine monks. That was in the 9th century. In 1022, it was endowed, so its patron became King Canute. So I think everybody knows who King Canute is.
No, I ain't got a clue.
Well, back in those days, the kings thought they were like gods. I don't know if they thought they were going to be immortal. But the famous story about King Canute is he sat on the beach and he tried to stop the waters from coming in.
He didn't succeed then.
He didn't succeed. So the Abbey, it went along quite merrily until Henry VIII came along, and then the dissolution of the monasteries, it fell foul of that. So it didn't last long after that all the monks dispersed, and then it fell into disrepair.
So looking at it, it's actually rather large because as we come round that bend on the right up there, you can actually see remains there where the cross is, and then there's more remains, ruins there. So
the sad thing about the monasteries is at that time they were places of learning. They were places where if you were ill, they had limited knowledge of medicines. They looked after elderly as well as the sick.
yeah,
So when Henry VIII stripped them of all their wealth and they started closing down, then it was devastation for the poor people.
yeah. There is a Broad Ranger in front of us.
Is that?
Yeah. Right. That is St Benet's Abbey.
Oh, the spelling of Bennett, which is quite unusual, is because it was B-E-N-E-T-S, which sounds very French to me, Benet.
Yeah.
It's medieval spelling for
Right.
Benedictine monks, yeah.
Alright. So Benet.
Well, if you saw it, if I saw it, I would think it was French.
Right.
Yeah. But from 1066, England was effectively French.
Right. So that's Bennett's Abbey. And you've been sort of told, if it was me, they've been going, it's a lot of bricks and some monks live there. A long time ago.
King Canute, he gave money to several different abbeys and monasteries. I think I mentioned back in the day that they thought if holy people prayed for you, then you'd get a better place in heaven.
Alright.
A bit closer to God.
Godliness is close to something elsiness.
Cleanliness,
Oh,
isn't it?
that's not looking good. So,
Are they stuck?
well, to me that looks like that's...
No, he's coming out.
No. I mean, so you've got a boat on our left in front of you, which you should be seeing if I've edited this right. But these workboats on the right look as if they're wibbling all over the gaff. So
Is that momentary loss of concentration for them?
yeah, I think he just parked in the
reeds.
So we're going to be turning right in a minute onto the River Ant.
The River Ant?
Ant.
Well, as in...
Ant and Deck.
Well, I was thinking of the small insect, actually.
Yes,
but...
yes.
Alright, Winnie. I know, you've been very good.
Right, that was St Benet's Abbey. Yeah.
So we're going to end up back in that Statham thing.
Yeah.
So that we're heading towards that way.
That's it. So we are going.
Oh, that still looks terribly windy when you look at people up on their fly bridges.
Yeah, we are going right onto the River Ant, which still looks very windy. We've done our right turn and we're now on a River Ant.
So how much further than Captain?
Well, we've got Ludham Bridge to deal with, which it says at high tide there is a clearance of 8'6", but we're 6'8" with the roof down. I'm kind of hoping that we are going to go under. No, seems alright. Seems alright. So,
I'm a bit warm.
are you a bit warm?
I'm a bit warm. What do you do with your rubbish?
Get in the pocket. Right. We'll see you at Ludham Bridge. Right. After all that, we would have gone under that. Two more, yeah? Yeah.
If you like, it's pretty, isn't it?
It's for me.
That's the road.
The spring lines on the boat. Well, our plan, the dogging is 500 yards. Our plan was to go to Gay Stave and stay there the night, but as has been with absolutely everything, we've got to Ludham. There was a mooring, so we've stopped, and this is where we're going to stay.
Yes, but look over the bridge.
Hang on, look at the bridge. Look at this. Look at the view.
We have had blue sky every single day. Don't look smug, but I mean, madness. I mean, look at it. It's just absolutely glorious.
I don't know.
Hey?
I don't know. Was it heron?
Yeah, just landed.
All right. Oh yeah. I'll see if I can zoom in on that. So there's a heron just landed. It's right in the. Well, the Waitrose lorry's just gone over there. So if you've ordered eggs from Waitrose and you live at Ludham, they're all going to be broken. Where is the?
Yeah, well camouflaged here, isn't it? The reeds.
Yeah. Well, she's in there somewhere. I can't see her. Him, her. I just cannot believe this weather. I just cannot believe how lucky we have been. We have just been so lucky with the weather. We really, really have. I'm pleased. Many things. I really didn't know how Lisa was going to take to this, because I've got a dog that's on a bungee cord. Hey, look at this, a dog that's on a bungee cord.
Really, don't they?
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if this was going to be Lisa's thing or not, but yes, yeah.
What we're doing is my food. I like travelling. So
Yeah.
on any train, plane, boat, camper van, car, as long as we're out doing something.
That's a boon. Anyway, we're going to go back to the boat, and the camera has dropped down, which means it's been that windy that the camera has hit the deck.
Oh no.
No, it's good. It's only slid down the pole.
Oh, okay.
I had the 360-degree camera up, just recording footages of what's going on and watching the boats go past.
It's weird, isn't it? On that bridge, it's very little wind. You come down here to the river level,
Yeah.
and it's got really windy again, isn't it?
Yeah.
You would have thought you'd be up high on the bridge.
Yeah.
But on our little boat, it shelters you, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Right, we're getting back on board. Well, we've come off the boat, and we've decided to go for a little walk. We've just seen someone go under Ludham Bridge. 2 adults and a child on top of still on the deck of the boat.
No.
And unfortunately they were, I don't want to say this and make it sound not nice, but they were younger people, and
They weren't, they're obviously parents.
yeah, the
Child.
parents, but he accelerated very hard towards the bridge and ducked. She didn't realise, and she smacked her head on the top of the
On the bottom of the bridge.
on the top of the bridge. On the bridge. So I mean, they've carried on and they've not come back, but I mean, that must have hurt. That must have really hurt.
Well, I can't believe that she didn't notice that she was going to hit the bridge.
Yeah,
Sixth sense kicks in, doesn't it?
yeah, well, you'd have thought so. You'd have thought so. Anyway, we're on the other side. We're assuming this footpath goes for a little while. Oh, it's a cruise boat. Lots of seats, looks like wheelchair access as well. That's nice. That is nice.
I like this one, the seat level. She's feeding the swan. She's feeding the swan over.
Oh, it's really windy. Really windy. We've hang on a minute, is that, I can't work out what's the Broad and what's, so that's not the Broad, is it?
Yeah.
The Broad is the other side of that. Oh, you can just see a boat coming along. And there's a Broad that side. Oh, there's water that side anyway. Oh, it takes me away. It's been like this for a couple of days. Really, sun's out, but cold and windy. Let's keep walking. Hello.
Hello.
We're back. So, this is the end of day 7. Our final day of Honey Hollybobs. I've really enjoyed it.
It's alright.
It's alright. I bet you can't guess where we've just been.
It started with dogging, it's finished with dogging.
This is it. Yeah, so day 1
we went dogging. The dogging at, where are we?
Ludham.
Ludham.
Oh, jeez,
Oh
Guinness.
no, I've only had one Guinness. So
We had to walk. Day one, we had to walk. We weren't at Ludham, were we?
well, we was at How Hill
And we walked across field.
to get to the pub.
Yes. If you've watched, you'll see that we had a fair walk to get to the pub.
That's commitment.
And now we've been to the same pub, but we're actually stopped at the village where the pub is.
Yeah. So
So we're fat and full again.
fat and full again. I bought exactly what I had on day one, which was egg and chips and beans. Long journey home in the car tomorrow.
We're in the camper anyway.
In the camp. Oh, you're in the camper.
Please don't go look for the camera tomorrow
Yeah,
because
we
you'll
won't
be
have a car.
disappointed.
You'll be very disappointed. Right, so that's it. That's our alternative means of transport coming to a close. We hand the boat back at 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Is it 9:30? I thought it was 9 o'clock.
Between 9 and 9:30.
Wait,
So it's 9:30 in my book.
okay.
And then that's us. And then we've got a 454-mile drive home.
Back to Cornwall.
Back to Cornwall. But it's been worth the drive here. Today's cruising's been absolutely brilliant. Wasn't sure how the weather was going to be. We had the screen up and the sides up right to the last knock-in. I jumped out just before Ludham Bridge, knocked them all down, only to find out that it would have gone under the bridge with them up. But there you go.
Yeah, but it was all right.
And the plus side to that is we're now moored at Ludham Bridge.
I've been sat in the sun. I'm going to go back looking healthy
And tanned.
with my brown nose.
Yeah, I've got a red nose. Wrong time of year to be called Rudolph.
I put sun cream on my nose, so it's still browner than the rest of my face. Closer to the sun, I suppose.
Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed our video diary of the 7 days cruising on an Norfolk Broads. As we've said, we will do this again on a different boat. There is a review of this boat which, if you haven't had enough of this waffle, will be probably following on after this video, but that's up to you. You can go and watch it, or you haven't got to watch it. But thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found today's interesting. The fact that I actually started telling people where we were and what we were doing, which in all honesty I should have done from day one.
What do you mean?
Well, I had the map on the dashboard, didn't I, going?
Oh, I see. Yeah, should have had the map from day one.
Yeah.
You were trying to tell people what we were doing, where we were going.
And I was wrong.
Well, only most of the time.
Only most of the time, yeah. Anyway, thank you ever so much. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. If you don't already, please subscribe. And above all,
Ring the bell for notifications.
we'll be back in our next video. Don't know what it is, when it is, how it is, what it is, where we're going to go. Are we reviewing anything? Yes, we are. We are reviewing something, but we'll leave that for the next video. Anyway, bye for now.
Goodbye.